You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Good morning. Now that I've finally got this stupid thing to work. See, we've changed our platform kind of sort of. Oh God, who knows what's going on with the hair? So we've got we use a webinar now rather than just a main stream, so that things are a little different. We can do things a little different. And this morning it didn't want to let me in. So I don't know how these things can be complicated, especially for someone like me who's not so computer literate, right? Yeah, I'm sure that piece of hair is not supposed to be there. Oh God. Anyways, it's been a weekend, right? I worked yesterday, and then of course we've had leadership races going on in Canada, and we have just ultimately had last night a convention and a new leader announced for the Liberal Party, which means that Canada could be going into an election. Now, we've got a lot of people going on worldwide right now, but if we get into an election and we get another government, the Conservatives have already said that they would roll back legalization. They want to, we've got two MPs that are already saying, women's health. There's so many things that are on the board right now with this upheaval in our world. And I know we've got a lot of LPs here that do a lot of business too, as well as in Israel, Germany. There's a lot of export that goes out of our country to Australia. I don't see any tariffs going on that because, of course, there's already taxation and duty on that. One of the reasons why a lot of our LPs, or some of our LPs, I wouldn't say a lot, have taken their actual product to other markets, because in between provinces, the tariffs and the free trade between our 13 provinces are different. Well, now they're saying they're going to change that too. So that may open doors for our cannabis industry, which would mean that there'll be freer trade between provinces with liquor and tobacco, and probably cannabis, which means that I might be able to finally get some BC product in BC. I know, that's ridiculous, right? You think you can? I honestly had to have, when Remo first brought out his supercharged joints, and my hair's driving me, I literally had to have Al mail me one from Ontario. I still cannot get a Remo supercharged joint at my store. Not kidding. It's ridiculous, right? So that's where we're at with that. And it is kind of like, you're kidding, right? But no, I can't get a supercharged joint in BC, at least at the store that I go to. So I had to get Al to mail me one from Ontario, because you can get them in Ontario, but every provider has to apply or send their stuff to the LBDs, and they have to be accepted. And then the stores get a catalog, kind of like the liquor stores get a catalog as to what they can order and what they can't order. Right? So a while ago, I received some loveliness from a friend, and I hadn't brought out my email. Like, anybody who knows me knows that I don't do much dabbing. I cough and I hack and I'm out. But I have this email that I bought 10 years ago from emails.ca, and fellow was a friend of mine. So I don't have any water in the bong, which I probably should have, but I don't. But I haven't done dabs for a while, so this morning usually I start with a doobie. Well, today I'm going to start with a dab, because, like I said, I don't do this often, but what the hell? World's going to hell in a handbasket, so we might as well too. Carb gap. Turn that away from your computer screen because you don't want to melt it. I had to remind myself this morning when I got up that I hadn't unplugged that and it was hot. And I'm like, oh yeah, I burnt myself on that once. In fact, I made candy on the weekend for the substitution program. In 20 years, I've never burnt myself on candy. On the weekend. Because for some reason, the RSO that I put in, so obviously not all the toxins were out of it. So when I put it in, yeah, and then I went to pour it into the measuring cup that it went over, and it went over onto my hand, on my finger. One little piece, I pulled it off, stuck it straight underneath. I put it right under cold water, but hey, it didn't seem to help. So for the first time in 20 years, Tamara's got a burn from making candy. I actually also made some beautiful red velvet white chip cookies. They're so yummy. Again, for the substitution program. But that's where most of my stuff goes now, straight out for free to people with addiction problems. I was just see a post this morning on Facebook on our Cranbrook page saying a lady that's come to town, she got a master's degree offering ketamine and psilocybin therapy. And I said to her, wait for the trolls. I do cannabis substitution. You're going to have fun. Because anything different in this town, oh my God, maybe the ketamine and the psilocybin will make these people normal. Maybe that's what Dink Town needs, is mushrooms. Wouldn't that be a concept? That everybody did a little bit of ketamine and got their wiring straight and they actually became decent human beings instead of a bunch of Nazis. I can say that on this platform. Nobody's going to ban me. Just love that TikTok. You can't say the word cannabis. You can't say the word schmat. You have to use like code words. So I find myself when I'm doing my own show here, which I've done on this network and on this platform for years, using code words for cannabis, like MJ, and not smoking cannabis. Because on that platform, I can't. And I am wearing clothes, folks. You know, on that platform, they tell me that I was nude and probably ban my for being nude for nudity. I'm not nude. Trust me, you wouldn't want to see that. There are clothes on underneath this house. Whatever. It's my sweater. I love this sweater. I wear it to work all the time. Anyways, but yeah, if the conservatives get in, it could be a smack in the face. I mean, our medical program was court ordered, right? But if he starts using notwithstanding clauses and tearing our Constitution apart, that will mean that Section 7 that covers our charter rights to what we have, be able to medicate, expression, freedom, all these things, would be gone. So that would take our cannabis rights as medical patients and as recreational patients gone, because that's what Poilievre plans on doing with ripping apart using notwithstanding clauses and ripping apart our charter so he can do jail, not bail. Didn't Harper already try this with the mandatory minimum jail sentencing and all these things and trying to, build private prisons? Haven't we learned from our past mistakes already? And cannabis is a plant, right? It's they say euphoric. Euphoric? I have never giggles and having a good time in high school. Maybe most of us that are cannabis patients don't even get that euphoric feeling anymore. We're barely able to get the pain managed, never mind feeling funky. Like psilocybin, yes. Acid, MDMA, all those other those are psychedelics. Those will cause hallucinations. Cannabis is not psychedelic. There is no psychedelic compounds in that plant. The euphoria you feel is just a little bit of relaxation and your body saying, hey, our endocannabinoid system's getting some, what it needs, and our cannabinoids are going into those receptors, and we're going, right? You're not going, woohoo, the walls are bending. I think that's one thing that really bothered me about the 70s show, is that they would go downstairs and they'd, all, puff, pass around the doobie, and then all of a sudden their heads would be moving around different. And I'm like, when the fuck did that ever happen? I don't ever remember once smoking a joint that wasn't laced with something that I was sitting back on. Everybody's heads was rolling and the walls were bending. Mushrooms, yeah. Acid for sure. Cannabis, nah. I'm sorry. There's never been a strain of dab, a doob, nothing that has ever got me that fucked up that I was seeing wall spending. I just haven't. I just haven't. So you guys can put comments. You might have to, if you're on Facebook, you might have to allow StreamYard to whatever if you want to put comments in. I cannot see comments. I guess I could go to my page on the phone, and I can't see comments um, unless you're using StreamYard, I guess. Because right now, let me see what my page. It says that I'm live even. Oh, even on Facebook, it says I'm live. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen this before. I don't usually go to my page. One share. Oh, I guess I could share it. I don't see any comments underneath that either. Anyway, let's see what cannabis and coffee, if I can see it on that one. That means I gotta go off this page into another page. I wish people would just, hi, you want to come up? I can have you come up. Like just to do chats because I don't think I can do panels. I mean, I can bring guests up, but that means I have to either have you on Facebook. Oh, you are on Facebook. So I am seeing the comments here because it shows me that you're on Facebook and you're doing that. Yeah, right? You wish. Don't you wish that if we spoke to Doobie that all of a sudden everything would just start wiggling and wobbling and we'd feel like our bodies, like they're saying, oh, your bodies are numb. And I wish my body would feel numb. Because if my body felt numb, then I could, like, seriously, if my body felt numb, then I wouldn't be in pain, right? So that would be probably something for you too. Like if you absolutely like wanted to like not feel any pain. Oh, what happened there? No, I'm not. What is this? I'm going through a difficult time. What the fuck does that even mean? Okay, so I'm gonna go here. Add story, edit profile. I'm gonna see if I can. Where are you, Mel? Where are you, Miss Melissa? See if I can find you. There you are. Okay, I'm gonna send you the link for today's show, and I think I can. Oh, I did. Yep, there it is. Okay, there. You got the link if you want to come up. You just have to pop yourself in, and that way I can do that. So if you're on Facebook and you have me on Facebook and you want to come up and chat on this, I can send you the link and then you can come up. Because I believe I can have more than one guest. I think I can have like 4 or 5 guests on here. You can medicate online on this show. We don't care here. You don't have to hide it on here. I'm medicating too, or unless you have to be away from your phone. But I'm medicating too. Like that's one thing. This is not like the talk live, right? We can do on this one. We can medicate, and we have been doing that for as long as we've been on here, because these are on our own. Like we pay for this stuff, this platform and stuff too, right? I haven't been banned yet on this, and neither has Al, as far as I know. We don't do Twitter because Twitter wants to have like money. They expect you to pay now, and then um LinkedIn too, I think blocked him because most of this stuff all goes through Al's profile because we're back with with Al Rap too. We have the 420 Pace project. That's some nice butter. Welcome everybody. If you're just coming in, we're just chatting away. I'm at the Airbnb, so I need to go outside. Okay, yeah. Take your time. We've got an hour. It's only 17 minutes after, and I got to do my commercials and shit too. Because on here, I do have to do commercials because we do have sponsors. On any of my other lives, I got no sponsors because it's just me. But that's okay. Well, it's not me. Our network is vast. Like we've got several shows. We actually have psychedelic shows. So again, like I was saying before, we've got a lady that just posted on our Cranbrook page that she's bringing ketamine and psychedelics to Cranbrook, and I went right on. I don't like them. Like I don't. I've done them several. I don't like psilocybin in microdosing in any form. I just don't like that feeling of not being able to control myself. It's the same with alcohol. Like if I get to that point with alcohol where I can't control, I don't like it. I do not like feeling. Okay, that's why I've never liked any of the psychedelics. Like I've never been an acid or nah. I don't like it. I like just. I don't know. I don't know why. I liked cocaine. I will say I liked that. And that was the issue that's why I liked it too much, and that's why I don't do it anymore. But I don't know. I think it's because it actually made me feel normal. And now that I'm on medication for my ADHD, I don't feel like I need that anymore. And even with the cannabis, like I find that it's just nicely diverts my pain so I can get up and go to work. I'm not taking the opioids like I would if I wasn't doing a combination. Like I don't take a lot of like if I'm in a flare, and right now my hip is killing me, and I actually had to go for an X-ray on Monday, and I have to go to an in-doctor appointment about my hip. Now, if there's nothing wrong, you don't hear from them, and if it's something minor, they just give you a phone call. I got to go into the doctor's office, so I don't know what the hell is going on with my hip. All I know is that I've been in excruciating pain for probably 5 years, and I had it X-rayed once, and she said, "No, there's nothing wrong." And I just kind of chalked it up to my RA. But it's continuous, waking me up at night. I'm using the opioid that I do have for the hip and not my RA. But my shoulder is always a bit stiff. In the morning when I wake up, I'm always stiff. And I know that she'd like me to go to an injection or a biologic. I have a needle phobia. I'm supposed to get a blood test every 3 months, and I don't go. My liver could be fucking all wrong from taking this shit, and nobody will ever know because I won't go get a blood test. I have a needle phobia. Takes everything it did to get me to go get the vaccines that I did, right? Like, and I do go get them, and I don't. And every day, every time I go, I'm talking myself out of going, and I'm not gonna go, and I drag my feet, but I go. I don't know how I've done that so many times, but I have because my fear of getting COVID or getting sick with the medications that I take besides cannabis, my phobia and my fear of that and not being here for my son and my other kids is way more of a pull. So that was probably, and never mind losing one of my really best friends to COVID before the vaccine. In fact, one of my very best friends. In fact, I got my dogs from her. When she died of COVID, that was it. When the vaccine came, I was like, I'm going. Yeah. So I guess if you've never lost anybody to it, or you don't want to believe in it, that's your choice. But some of us have actually had to touch their lives, and my 15-year-old son's been suffering from long COVID for 2.5 years. Anyways, this isn't a COVID show. This is a cannabis show, and we laugh and giggle and have some fun. So I'm waiting for Melissa to come back up, and this is the lady that wants to do the walk. So now that actually, she's going to come back up. We can maybe discuss that after my break here, and we do the commercials once we get her up here. And we had her on last week, and we were talking about it, but I think that we really need to blast it out a little more. Like, Melissa is disabled. She was disabled at work. She was hit in the head with a chair. That was one of the injuries that she sustained, right? She was a nurse and she was a corrections officer, right? And on that note, she had to go on WCB because if you get a work injury in any province, you have to suck up this WCB private insurance company that no lawyer or anybody wants to stand up against. No, we have another friend, or he's not really a friend, he's an acquaintance that's out in British Columbia. His name's John Burfello, and he also fought BCWCB for decades because he was hurt at work, and his end of the day medicine ended up being cannabis too. Here she is, her beautiful face, and this lady's gonna walk. Are you gonna do some training before you decide to go walk? Like, you're not just gonna go out this cold, right? You're just not gonna just start walking. Do you have a treadmill? Don't you think you should don't you think you should do some training? I mean, even Kristen that did the MMIW walk did a little bit of training, honey. I don't want to see you hurting yourself. I love you, and I'm all behind you 100%. I just don't want to see any harm come to you. And I'm not telling you.
I'm thinking the same thing. Like, I'm looking for my coffee. I put my coffee down when I come in, and I don't know where I put it. Everything's everywhere.
And I mean, your diet, you got to start eating some carbs and putting some weight on. You can't start walking. You got no muscle. You got no bone. You're like me. You're like 70 fucking pounds.
I'm 104 actually, and
I'm 79 pounds, but I'm only 4'9", and I got more chub on me than you got on your on your leg.
I don't even have an arse anymore.
I know, I got no arse either. That's what I mean. You can't be walking and losing any more arse.
Oh no, I'm just gonna I'm just going to eat. I'm hoping. Well, I know I've always been the type that when I do things physical, like when I work, I get hungry. I was always like that, and I think that's part of what happened to my appetite is that when I became less physically able to do things, that's kind of where my appetite between that and bouncing back and forth between SSRI to SNRI to
Because I
all
think
that
you
stuff.
should be. I think, like I said, this is a big thing, especially if it's going to be cold and stuff. Because
Yeah,
your body's going to be working hard to walk. You're going to be exerting a lot of energy, and then you're going to be or exerting energy to keep yourself warm, right? If it's
yeah.
cold. I mean,
I
it's warm here. It's like +5 here. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's -6 here. I think. I think it's
It's
wind
not
chill
too bad.
-11.
Yeah, but I mean, we need to get cracking. I guess. Do we have any? What are we? Where are we at? Have you got any funds coming in?
Nope. I haven't really heard from many people.
I haven't talked to too many either. I've been waiting for this damn election, and like now it's over.
There's so much other stuff going on too. Like everybody's busy with other things that are going on. So
Always seems to happen, especially with these tariffs and stuff. Everybody's concentrating on themselves.
everybody's focused on that. Everybody's even
Yeah,
Trump is taking this shit away from me, and like you know what I mean. Like it's just
yeah.
like I'm almost starting to feel like what's the point?
You
Because
have a point, but that's the
I'm not
thing.
going to be able to get any traction anyway because everybody's too focused on what's going on south of the border.
Everybody's
Bottom,
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
unfortunately.
why. That's why I'm wondering if maybe we should wait a bit till things settle down. Or, it's up to you. Like, you can totally do whatever you
I'll
want to
go. I'll go tomorrow. Like as long as the dog is sorted, I'm good. I got ski pants. I got the Jeep. I can sleep in the Jeep. I don't give a shit.
do. Yeah, but you can't go
Like
out there and do this by yourself.
no, but you know what I mean. Like it's not me. It just if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna need support to do it. You know what I mean? To do it too, and I'm gonna need like I'm not doing this for myself. If I was doing this for myself, I probably wouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? Like I got more I got more than a lot of people did because I fought for it. And now people are getting things because I fought for it. Because I set the precedent. So there's a lot of injured workers out there. There's a lot of first responders out there and there's a lot of veterans out there. There's a lot of medical marijuana patients out there. And I know there's a lot of injured workers out there that need coverage. There's a lot. How many people like this would set a precedent too? Because this is like I had this argument with my case manager this morning. She's trying to say that through Medivie Blue Cross they can only cover 4 grams a day, and I'm like, no, they're covering veterans up to 10 with no restrictions. So, like, don't try to tell me that the sky isn't blue when it's blue because everything needs a
Blue
special
Cross is
authorization.
covering medical cannabis. If you buy, like, how does that work? Because I don't get covered.
Because okay, say with comp with me, I have to get if a doctor prescribes it. Beans is coming up to join us. She's going to slide in behind me. Um,
Whatever.
yeah, she got my 6 all the time. She's got my 6. With with comp, everything needs a special. If it's not on the formulary, which is like they have a certain list of drugs that are just automatically covered. Like if a doctor prescribes it, you take it to your pharmacy, it's covered. But
Yeah.
the list keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, right? And what's happening is if your drug isn't on the list, which cannabis is not, and it should be. I mean, if it's approved for one, it should automatically go on the list.
Well,
It
yeah.
really,
If one person is being allowed to have their cannabis covered, it
yeah,
should be if it's good for one, it's good for all.
yeah.
Medical. Not
So
if you're
special
recreational. Like, if you're
authorization form,
recreational and you're just going and buying a few doobies, blah blah. You have to be medical.
yeah. So that special authorization form goes off to Medivie Blue Cross. Now, Medivie Blue Cross, whatever they do, I don't know if they wipe their asses with it, blow their noses in it, or whatever, but they send it back to workers' comp. And then workers' comp says, nope, we can only approve 4 grams a day according to Health Canada policies. And I'm like,
Well, Well, that's what they did, though. They did that to the veterans and they did that kiosk. That's why we got labeled as there was too much money going out spent for the veterans on cannabis, why they capped it, and it was 3 to 5 grams.
That was Peter Stauffer that did that. He
Yeah,
questioned why they needed so much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like, why should a politician question why a veteran
But
is
they put that, I
is
believe
getting
they
too
changed,
much of
I
the
believe they changed
certification?
that in legislation, and that wasn't a liberal thing.
Yeah.
So I believe that's when everybody got raked over. That was before legalization.
Yep.
And that's why
That
we got raked over, and that's why the milligrams for edibles is at 10 milligrams because some
that
politicians said that
completely
they shouldn't.
threw everything right out to left field, like
I know,
completely.
I know.
So, but Medivie Blue Cross covers workers' comp too.
But again, if workers' comp's covering it for injured workers,
Mhm.
then it should be able to be covered for every medical patient for whatever the reason that they were
And
using.
I like copied and pasted from a tribunal 2 years ago, someone that I know who actually in the decision it said the tribunal, what are the commissioner said that the person should be given the amount of cannabis prescribed that by the doctor, and I had the same doctor, but they said that they should be given the cannabis as as it's prescribed by the doctor because the doctor knows what they're talking about. Case closed. It was the shortest
Well,
conclusion
and
of
again,
my
nothing
life.
with our health should ever have to be fucking publicized. Our health is between your health is between you and your doctor on all
That
levels.
beat
So
that beat the 4 gram a day limit that they're saying. So they
right?
because this person was prescribed 8 or 10, I think.
I'm
So the
prescribed
tribunal
15.
agreed with them. The tribunal told workers' compensation, yes, give this man 8 to 10 grams a day because his doctor said he needs it.
And pay
But
for
yet
it.
they're not, yeah, and pay for it, and they're doing it for him,
Good.
but they're not doing it for
We
anybody
have to
else
fight
that comes
for it.
along. You got to fight tooth and nail for it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm prescribed, I started at 7, and then they put me to 14. And then I went to go get just a MMAR or MMPR or whatever they were, just to have because I wasn't able to grow here, right? And I was talking to the nurse practitioner. I said I wanted 15, and she goes, "Well, how are you paying for it?" I said, "Don't worry about how I'm fucking paying for it. My husband
No,
works. We have jobs. Like, well, I can only put you at 14 because of the affordability level." And I'm like, I'm not asking anybody to pay for it. You're not listening to me. My husband has a 20-gram prescription. Are you going to cut him back to 15 because of
hmm
you thinking that it's about affordability? Like, are you kidding me? Like, shut up. Like, this isn't about you. This is about us. Okay. And on that note, I gotta shut down and turn around and do our commercials and thank our sponsors because if I don't, we we won't be here. So we'll be right back in about 3 minutes. And remember, we can't talk behind the scenes because of this new program. And where's the commercial? Right there.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from, the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One's called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Camelford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers. plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have. As well as, for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Re-rolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And we are back. And we do have some awesome sponsors. I wish I was in Ontario sometimes, because what goes on out in Ontario, even in Nova Scotia, but unfortunately I'm hearing from my friends from Mom that they are putting a pause on Harvest Fest this year, which is heartbreaking. I know how hard Debbie has worked for, decades and decades. She was one of the first actually patients in Canada, and I don't think she gets near enough credit for what she's done for everybody across this country, being a patient with the HITS case. But I have my cup, I'm drinking my coffee out of my cup this morning too. But a huge shout out to Debbie Stilts-Giffen and the Mom organization for all that they have done for our community over the last 20 years. Because we're coming into 20 years. Like, you know what I mean? Or more, because I think the HITS case was in like 98. Because we got the first medical marijuana program started in 2000. So we are past the point of our government should be like stopping us from having access to this. Like, it's past the fucking point of like, seriously, like, how many people have we lost? How many people have died in our community because they didn't get the access that they needed, and they had to screw around with the government and their fucking court cases and spend millions and millions of dollars. Even Jason Wilcox is gone, and he's the one that started our cannabis coalition that got us and kept us our rights to grow our own medicine. Harper was taking it. He was saying, now we're going to have these big licensed producers and they're going to supply everybody in Canada. You're just going to pay. And they come out with $10 a gram and then tax. Nobody could afford that shit. No one. Not even now. So, I mean, the prices have dropped significantly now, but even at the stores, like, I'm still paying $100, $200 an ounce. No different than before, right? Like, it depends on what you get. You can get cheap stuff, sure.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, and then we're taxed. I have to pay, even as a patient, like for even my RA, the pharmacy charges me a handling fee.
Handling fee?
It's like an admin fee. I should try and dig out one of my receipts. In fact, I think I might have one.
Oh,
but they charge $10, $10 or something for them to process my pharma. And I mean, I've got ADHD medication for my RA. I have to take folic acids. I've got to take, I've got.
It's gone crazy. It is.
Right? But I do. Hang on. I believe I've got some receipts, just like right over here. That I was noticing the other day that they're charging $10 and something, 48 cents or something for medical handling. Where's that little? Like got them together for my accountant because I got to go see my accountant.
I found anything that leans anything cannabis wise that leans towards
They
medical.
don't even cover my
It's going
cannabis.
to be like
They don't
double
cover any
on
of my
price.
none, like none. They don't. There's no way they cover my cannabis. Okay, here's a. Now this is for Alvin's stuff for his colonoscopy. But seriously, like they're charging me a handling. It's like an admin fee, and it's like I'm like, what the hell is this for? I don't know what I did with that stuff. I put it all together for my account, and now of course I can't find it. Because that's what I do, right? Put things together for a reason, and then not be able to find it.
I'm gonna keep it here so I know exactly where it is, and then poof, it's gone. That's the story of my life, girl.
It's kind of ridiculous. Or maybe it's over here. Here's my attention deficit in full form, right? I stashed stuff so I can find it, and then I can never find it. Nope. I got boxes everywhere. I'm a nightmare, Melissa. This is me on not enough drugs. Anyways, but yeah, it's $10.48 for
It's
my
probably
pharmacy for to
fee.
get any of my pharmaceuticals. I wish I could find that. Oh, anyways, I'll find it after when I don't need it. Is the thing. But yeah, it's like a $10 admin fee or some stupid thing from PharmaSave, and it's on the and then of course my husband has benefits, so he get covered. But some of my son's stuff, and actually I've got a cream up at the hospital still for his dermatitis that I haven't picked up because it's $70, and they don't cover any of that because it's a compound. I just keep forgetting.
I'll tell you, I don't think there's anybody on Cape Breton Island that has their wisdom teeth who was born between 1960 and 1995, 96, because Devco, who was the main employer with the coal mines, right? They had a really good dental. So, but it ran out once you were 19 and were at a school, or you were 19 and or you were at a school. So if you graduated before you were 19, you were shit out of luck. Unless you had a job with benefits, right? So
Right.
so the dentist, and there was only like 2 oral surgeons. So the dentist would say, "Oh yeah, your wisdom teeth got to come out," and they'd funnel it to these 2 oral surgeons, and then they'd get that for that. But everything was covered through insurance because. And by the time we were 19, I swear to God, and I was thinking about this the other day, because that's what started some of my issues, was the fact that mine were so big. They left 2 of them in. He said, I can't be bothered fighting with those other 2, so he just left them in. And I'm thinking, how many other people? Once I got to know how insurance works, I'm like, how many other people around here? And every single one of my friends was like, no, don't have them. No, don't have them. Where'd your father work, Devco? And I'm like,
Yeah, see, and I didn't get all mine taken out till I moved here 10 years ago, and that's what caused this. My space wasn't like this, and from that dentist pulling all that stuff, it caused the periodontal to increase in my top gums because they start yanking stuff out, and as soon as you start yanking stuff out, things start opening up, and that's when infection starts. And yeah, so by doing that, I ended up with periodontal. I'm gonna have to have all of this taken out and get dentures eventually, but that's what my space was never this big. But I didn't have my wisdom teeth out as a kid. They were down. They weren't impacted. They didn't even come to the surface, and I didn't need them out. But once I had teeth in my 40s, they popped up. They kept so yeah. This dentist here in town yanked them after I was 40. I was in my 40s.
I wasn't having issues with mine. Like I never had a problem, and that like they weren't bothering me. But the dentist said they had to come out, so you trust the dentist.
I went in because I had one filling. I had hardly any cavities because my mom had dental too. She was a public servant, so we always had good dental as kids as well, right? And I had a filling that had fallen out when I was pregnant with Taven. And I went in to get that filling filled, and they yanked that tooth. And then she told me because they, I had waited too long, so they couldn't just fill it. They had to pull that tooth. So so then they started just pulling teeth. And it was like the next thing I had no teeth on this side of my head. I had no teeth here. And it's like, they don't want you to, they tell you they want you to keep your teeth. No, now the new thing is to pull all your teeth so they can put implants in because implants are $30,000. And that's the new lucrative oral surgery that they're all looking forward to.
I don't have enough
Here's the
bones.
thing, I can't have it because I've got rheumatoid arthritis. I got no bone density. And I'm not that vain. I would not pay fucking $30,000 to have implants so I could have a nice white, pearly white smile.
I had
You
two
don't.
options. I could get my teeth fixed like that, and even though I don't have enough bone, I could take the chance. They might have had to come out, or I could have used the money towards medication, and that's what I did, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Like, I mean, my teeth aren't rotting. I mean,
Not
my
mine
gums.
either,
It's my
but
gums. It's not even my teeth. My teeth are like, But I mean, I quit smoking
direct
cigarettes.
impact on heart health.
Yeah.
Direct
But
impact on.
again, like I don't know. Like I said, there's dentists. I'm having a hard time because there seem to be a dime a dozen. They all seem to be LDS because they all go on a mission and can go to Brigham Young University and get an education for free from the Mormons. And then and then they're all here, and then they're all telling people to yank their teeth out and get dentures. And I don't know. I don't know. Do we really need to have all that?
No. I'm just sticking with oil pulling, coconut oil pulling. Honest to God, that's what's been saving my teeth for the past, I don't know how many years. And since cannabis entered as medicine, one day I was just oil pulling, and I thought, what if I oil pulled with infused coconut oil? So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I and they're always like texting me, yeah, it's been this long since you had your last cleaning. They need me to go in and get my teeth scaled every 3 months now because it'll help with my periodontal.
Mm. And my issue started because after I got hurt, I couldn't open my mouth like far. So when I went for my regular cleanings, which I always did, I had great teeth. And when I went for my regular cleanings,
Oh shit, hang on. I gotta put a gate going down here. I have my daughter's dogs here. And,
oh, dog down, dog down.
well, no, she dropped them off yesterday. But this little one here isn't fixed and she's in heat. And
Oh,
the big guy that's also hers that she dropped off a year ago isn't fixed. And I've got two that aren't fixed either, right? My Yorkies aren't fixed because I just haven't had the money. After $2,600 for Piper to have a C-section, that kind of ate up my pet fund, right?
kind of like having 4 teenagers in the house.
So I've got like this little girl, which is also Piper's daughter from her first litter, right? They're all family, is in heat. And the big guy is used to being in here and he can't be. So he's mad. So he's whining and knocking gates down. And she's, being a little freak. And I picked up the pee pad. Now I don't have one down and she's pointing to go to the bathroom. And yeah.
I don't mean, I'm not laughing. I'm just like, Jesus.
But yeah, like this is why I smoke cannabis. Because I
Yeah.
have always something going on. I better go get a pee pad. I'll be right back again. Like this is ridiculous. In the middle of my show, I have all this shit going on. We've knocked over dog food, knocked over dates. Like,
I don't know how she does it. Here's mine. Mine is right now. She has my 6 and she's my pillow. I don't know how she does it. Her, Debbie, everybody, all you cannabis warrior women and cannabis warriors. Thank you.
now we've got a dog that can go on a pee pad because she won't go outside, and I can't put her. Well, I did take her outside on her leash yesterday, but every time I walk past Breezy, he's losing his fucking mind with her. And it's not fair that and I told her I want to get him fixed, and she's like, he's not getting fixed. I said, he's not your dog anymore, he's mine. And he is getting fixed as soon as I have the money. But right now, my main priority, honestly, yeah, there you go, is a roof. I need a roof for my house.
Yeah.
Or it's going to cave in. And that's where kind of my priorities. I got to save some money because it seems like I can't get a loan on my own. My parents can't co-sign because they're in Alberta and I'm in BC, and I can't go to the bank where the mortgage is and take equity out because the mortgage is in my parents' name, and because I live in BC, they can't add me to the mortgage or have me co-sign anything to pull equity out of the house because of the banking laws. So but they could get a mortgage on a house in British Columbia at a bank in Alberta, but because I reside here and they reside there, they can't co-sign for me and I can't co-sign for my mom. And the bank won't give us any equity because of my parents' age, because my parents are in their 80s. So the mortgage is a 25-year mortgage. There's only 15 years left on it. We only owe 60 grand or something on it, and I'm not getting a mortgage because I'm 55 years old. I just want to pay this one out.
Yeah.
Mom goes, "I'll be dead in 15 years." I go, "No, you won't.
Yeah.
You're too stubborn." Like, Dad's already 88, or Dad's 83. Mom just turned 79, I think, or 79, I think she is. So I don't think she is 80. Maybe she is 80 this year. Maybe I'm a year behind. My daughter said she was 80 this year. So that means my dad's 83. Anyways, she doesn't figure she's going to be around for 15 more years. And I go, "Grandma lived to be 95. I don't know where you figure you're going." And my dad's dad was 93 when he died. So I don't know where they figure they're going. They're both in good health. My mom's 80 and goes to yoga. Like
my mom's 85 and she goes on about it. I go, like, 95 is still 10 years away. And
our neighbor,
10 years is still a long time.
yeah, and the thing, it's funny because our neighbor, when I was a kid, and they come into the store, right? And he's 97 and he's out shoveling snow and trimming trees. And you know what I mean? And she's got to be 90 in her 90s too. Like, she can't be that much younger than Ray. And she's coming to the store, and yeah, she's driving around. She's got a little. So people are living well into their 90s now because of science and technologies, and better. They say our food's actually gotten better because we are more mindful of our health. We had a period of
who is 83 and still plays hockey 2 days a week. Found a fit one of those smartwatches on sale at Canadian Tire and wanted me to check it out because he's in the woods every day too, right? He's always on the go, and he wants it'll keep track of his
Look at
steps.
Craig Jen last night, 91, out there telling Trump stop
off the phone. I just had to turn off the phone things and all that, those extras, because they were way out of the scope. Imagine him trying to talk to that. No, that would have been it for him. You'd have been done. But as far as he wants his heart rate is O2 sats, his locator in case something happens wherever he is, I can find him.
And the thing is too, like, with seniors using cannabis now too, instead of their opioids and shit, right? Like, they are living longer. I think cannabis has a lot to do with it. I think that we're being mindful of our health.
A happy endocannabinoid system is a happy what? That's a happy everything. So
yeah. Like I said, I got this happy light because I figured maybe it would give me some more motivation instead of sitting in this dark room. But I got to keep the room dark because of the heat and the cold, because there's no insulation, right? So the blanket just basically keeps the heat out in the summer and the cold out in the winter. And it's the only window. Like, my daughter walked in, she goes, "It's really stuffy in here." She goes, "Why don't you open a window?" I go, "I don't have any." We have old windows from like the 1900s they don't open. Not one out at the veranda, but the screen's all wrecked from the cats and being old, and there's nothing opening down here. I got my bedroom window. It does open, but yeah. So I've got all these lights and stuff to kind of brighten up, so I can actually be motivated. Because I'll just crawl back into bed, smoke another doobie, and go to sleep. Because of the pain, like, my pain levels are like ridiculous. Like, and I don't think, well, you understand. Like I said, most people don't understand, but you just got to get up and keep moving. And the cannabis helps. And they look at it. I've been called like a dope head and all kinds of like really derogatory things in the last few days because I've been running around calling people Nazis, because you are. And, they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's coming from a dope head. What do you know?" I says, there you go. Your tolerance. You've got no tolerance of anybody other than yourself. So that shows that you're a Nazi. So just keep it up. You know what I mean? Like, that's showing right there your true colors. The minute you start name calling people and, derogatory comments to somebody that uses cannabis as a medicine, then you are a Nazi.
Yeah.
Because if I'm using cannabis as a medicine, that means I'm sick. That means I'm disabled. That means I've got something going on that's made me sick enough that I can actually get that licensing. Because people go, "Oh, aren't you lucky? Lucky how? Lucky how that I've got colitis? Lucky how that I've got rheumatoid arthritis? Lucky how that I've got
lottery?
How am I lucky?"
They act like it's a lottery. Like,
lucky that people got cancer and MS. They're pretty lucky people, hey? Like,
no, it's not a lottery.
What the fuck is lucky about being sick? Well, you don't look sick. You do. So what's wrong with the
I can clean up pretty good if I wanted to, if I had the energy to and the time to, and if I wasn't in a lot of pain. But that's a short time of a
Apparently, being
period
in
of my
pain
life.
isn't, being in pain is not enough to actually have anybody give you any nothing. We just give you nothing. It's like, oh, like I said, I get so sick about hearing about people. Oh, aren't you lucky that you got a exemption for medical? Why is that lucky?
Yeah. How am I lucky? I have an exemption from medical. I have an ACMPR from the government too. From the same Health Canada they say they're following the policies of.
Yeah,
Make that make sense.
it's not luck. Being sick ain't being lucky. Just so you can grow a little more than 4 plants and you can use cannabis. We're not lucky. Ain't nothing lucky about it.
This is not how I plan my life, I'll tell you that.
No, I wasn't on my bingo card. Getting arthritis and having to
Not
take all these weird drugs. Like,
no
this was not on my bingo card. You're right.
no no.
Bucket list
For
did not say, hey,
legalization, possibly, yeah, but not no. No, not
I've
this.
had colitis my whole life. 1986 is when this crap started. And unfortunately, it looks like it's happening that way for my son, too. He's got to go for a colonoscopy in May, poor kid. But, yeah, like, this is where we're at.
Mm.
So, like, you just got to keep on going. But like I said, I really don't call me a dope head because I use cannabis as medicine.
No.
Like, like it is offensive. Like, I'm getting tired of it. Like, before it was like, oh, I'll just blow it off, but now it's offensive. Like, I'm a 55-year-old woman, mother of 4. Like, I hold down a full-time job. I managed to be a pretty productive person in society. I do a lot of volunteer work, and you're gonna fucking call me a dope head.
Like no offense, like, but do we start calling anyone that takes a drink an alky?
I guess we're allowed to now. I guess I'll just start running around calling
Like
people
I
drunks.
don't get it. Like I don't understand. Like I do and I don't, but
I mean, I know
each
that
their
Canada's supposed to be pulling together, but you know what? I don't think there's pulling any of those people out of anywhere. They're fucking straight up Nazis. They're straight up gonna run around fucking spouting acts. I guess they're not gonna be saying acts of tax because that's gone off the table. Capital tax gains all gone too. So you can all quit whining about these taxes. And I guess some of these ideas are the reason why the budget fell apart and why we're going to an election. I don't know, but here we are. But there's no more 3-word salads. But my biggest fear is these fucking people are gonna get in.
Mhm. And
They've
see
stacked the
that's
deck
why I have
against
second
us
thoughts
so badly.
about all this. That's why I'm having second thoughts about all this stuff because there's so much all the focus. I don't mean you. Like you know what I mean? Like I just mean like that's what they want all the focus on them. And that's what they're getting.
Well,
So
nothing else is gonna go through right now until
I
this.
think my point is just we'll be moved and I'll be just
You'll be shuffled through. They won't even be able to get 5 minutes of media on you.
no. And I mean I've had media offer to come out here and talk to me and said, yeah, we there on Tuesday and never showed up, never heard another word. So like I'm just kind of yeah, whatever.
It was the same when when we were fighting to try and get our licensing and our make some traction with the growing too,
Yeah.
because there was so much going on back then too, right? It's always, and even with all of the cannabis stuff that we've done activism over the years, there's always been like really no spotlight really on it
And
until
I
it
get
became
that they're hearing about it, but if they're still hearing about it, then that means there's still a problem. Houston, there's still a problem.
right, right. There is several, and that's unfortunately the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we've got 3 minutes left on this, and then yeah, it goes by quick. Like I
That's
said,
right.
this hour show, like I can blither on for 15 minutes by myself and go, holy shit. I don't like to talk to myself, but I've done it. I've sat there here several times without guests because it's really hard to get guests with legalization. Nobody's doing much of anything. If they are, they're working in the legal industry. They're not allowed to talk because we're not allowed to do any advertising. Why it's hard to find sponsors or do any events, cups, anything, because nobody can do anything. It's like the liquor companies can't, they can sponsor events apparently, but cannabis can't, right? They're not allowed. They don't, even this expo that we were supposed to be at in the middle of March here, she canceled or postponed it to October because of tariffs and the stuff that's going on, because there's no spotlight on cannabis, right? And it's hard. And I guess if these LPs are exporting to other countries, which they possibly could be, this could be possibly something that does affect them. So, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that people, and the stock market's fucking caving. Our dollar's down to like fucking $6. Even gold dropped by $4 fucking.
I know. That's what made me rethink things. Like, just
that's because fucking don't want potatoes. We don't gonna go into the Fort Knox and check on the gold. So the gold just dropped by $4. They're gonna make gold worthless so he can't fucking sell it either, or that they can make everything worthless so the billionaires can run around and buy it all up.
Yeah. Cheap, expensive. Cheap, expensive.
Well, that 1% that wants to go and buy everything up, they drop everything down to nothing, then they can all suck it up, right? And then pump the prices back up and sell it all and make more money, right? Right? Yeah. Never in my lifetime, because I'm never going to be that person. Because
we've never seen that before. We've never seen that before.
Not 1940 at all.
Insert sarcasm here.
Yeah, right. All right, we're here to wrap things up. Anyways, if you want to get a hold of Melissa, I guess are you gonna put your walk on hold then, or what are you gonna do?
I'm still thinking about it, but I'm not. Don't get me out of the race yet.
Okay, so if you want to join Melissa on this walk, she needs volunteers, and that's kind of what we're looking at. She needs to get some help, or this is going to be a moot point. So we need some help. So reach out to Melissa on TikTok. She's Saltier Mutter, and on Facebook she's Melissa Ellsworth. And hit her up or me, and we'll try and get some things. If we can get some momentum, she's going to walk from Dominion, Nova Scotia to Halifax, Nova Scotia, 417 kilometers.
Yep.
On her, yeah. So let's get cracking. Okay, y'all have a good week. I'll see you next week on this show, and I'll be live with Al on Wednesday night on paceradio.net. You all have a great week, and thanks for coming and joining me. I appreciate you every time. Like I said, I love having somebody to chatter with rather than talking to myself. Y'all have a great week. We'll talk to you later. And I gotta find the ending.
This is a reminder. Shower.
Oh, now it's reminding me it's time to go.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20 is so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420 enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.